for the elderly.
It's just totally sadistic.
A daughter takes matters into her own hands to protect her mother.
So just dumped her on the bed.
2 nights inside an elderly care home, filmed on secret camera.
You could hear the poor lady cry out in pain. People were being treated with less respect than slabs of meat.
And the fight to prevent other vulnerable old people suffering the same abuse.
How can you actually go into a home where abuse has actually happened and it's literally been caught on film and then turn around and say that it's compliant?
I'm on my way to see someone whose actions could help change how we treat older people. It's personal for me. My mum needed to live in a care home for the last 3 years of her life.
Hi, Boo. Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Jane Worrell's mother, Maria, was mistreated when she lived in a North London care home.
This is some photos of Mum. She's beautiful in that, isn't she? Gorgeous. Yeah. I really couldn't have asked for a better mum, really. I just feel like as a person, she's just got the biggest heart, always laughing, always joking, just really strong, really independent as a parent.
But then Jane's mother became ill and needed more and more care. Maria was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, the most common form of dementia. Eventually, she could barely communicate and needed help with almost every aspect of her life, including personal care.
Hello! I kept her at home, living independently for as long as I could. She started falling over a lot, and then one day just came round in the morning to find that she hadn't moved at all from her bed, and she couldn't move.
Jane reluctantly picked a care home for her mother, a care home called Ash Court. A new build block nestled in the middle of a residential North London square. A 60-bedroom home on 3 floors which provides nursing and respite care. Jane chose it after reading a report by the national regulator, the Care Quality Commission.
I was still kind of, naive to a lot of it. But, reading the CQC report and it had an excellent rating, which is obviously all you've got to go against as a gauge of what the care homes are like. And it gave it an excellent rating.
Even though the CQC said Ash Court was excellent, Jane began to worry about her mother.
6 weeks in after her arriving at Ash Court, I noticed that she had bruising on her arms, bruising on her hands. It was like fingerprint bruising, really now. When I look back, it was like small fingerprint bruising.
Jane was told Maria was bruising easily because she was taking aspirin. Months later, Jane was still worried. She decided she had to do something.
And she just seemed so upset and down, and I just felt like the only way I'm going to know is if I record it. I wasn't even thinking anything at the time. I just thought I just wanted to see what my mum's life was like. So we just decided to buy this small digital camera. Just looks like a digital clock.
Jane's first attempts to film in her mother's bedroom failed. The camera was either positioned so that it only saw the bottom of the bed or its memory ran out. Then, on June the 17th, the camera worked. Everyone who entered Maria's bedroom for more than a few seconds was recorded. The sound quality is poor but clear. Although we've cut down the 2.5 hours of footage Jane filmed, we haven't left out good care or good carers. This is 2 nights in Maria Worrell's life at Ash Court.
This This is them putting my mum to bed.
Yeah. At 5:30?
Yeah, well, I'm quite shocked it's 5:30 actually. I thought it was a bit later than that. Because normally they would have done sort of 6:37, which is still early, but 5:30 is really early.
The two carers from the Philippines lift Maria by her shoulders. Although Jane has watched the footage before, this is the first time I've seen it.
So just dumped her on the bed.
Dumped her. And she doesn't know what's happening.
And she's got arthritis. So just chucked her legs on the bed as well.
And then walked off. I asked a leading specialist in dementia care to watch the footage of 2 nights from Maria's life at Ash Court. He says unless there's a fire, staff should use a mechanical hoist and painlessly get Maria to bed. Her care plan calls for a hoist and they were available.
It's like being treated like an object. Like a sack of potatoes moving from A to B, rather than this human being that's on the receiving end of it. You know, if you have dementia, how do you cope with something like that? You know? Who goes to bed at 5:30 in the evening in a room that is stark and bare with nothing to look at? So what is this person going to do for the rest of the evening?
Maria had been living at Ash Court for nearly a year by the time Jane hid a camera in her bedroom.
They're not speaking to you. No, they're speaking Filipino, but that's because I've never known what they were saying.
We've translated what they're saying over Jane's mum. It's unclear what they're talking about. But very little is about Maria or her care.
How frightening for her. She looks bewildered. Well, I can see they've hurt her now.
Absolutely.
And throw a
bag on her head, lovely.
And that pulling like this. Her wrists are really sore. But all her joints are really sore.
All
of that yanking and
it's
chucking.
as though she's cattle or something.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just like
totally.
farmers doing that when it's oh. They should be putting a sheet under Maria to move her, not yanking her. Specially designed slip sheets work in Maria's bedroom.
And you see all these things, like where I saw the bruises, now make sense because it was all fingerprint marks and on the hand.
So the bruises now, that's them gripping her by the arm.
That's supposed to be her
and that's their
going
job.
to bed. You know, that's your evening.
Later that same night, a different carer briefly visits Maria. And comes back 40 minutes later with a colleague. There's no greeting for Maria when these 2 carers arrive to bathe her.
So again, there's no sort of, hi Maria, you know, we're coming in, we're just going to...
They switch the TV on for their benefit.
And this is the whole time she's been in bed since 5:30 till now, just lying staring at the ceiling. Yeah.
My job's done, good night.
TV's off for their benefit, yeah.
Nine hours later, early morning, the same 2 carers are back, this time to give Maria her morning bath. Maria has been in bed for 13 hours.
Yeah, this is the morning. I think it's the same 2 that you've just seen. They're probably coming to the end of their shift.
The carers start talking about life at Ash Court and their colleagues. They don't paint a happy picture. While they're talking, Maria tries to resist them removing her sheets, so they pull harder.
She's just ripping
Just
her
ripping
sheets.
sheets. And the way they just grab hold of her limbs. Look at that, it's just that whole body. They just slapped her away again.
The carers start talking about staffing at Ashford.
Why do they come give me only 4 people to manage the something residents? Why not just getting your mate immediately they know that these people they need more.
They soon begin talking about their low wage.
What do you expect? And after that they pay you £6 or £6.70. Then you start. Then you go in your battery.
Our expert recognises these sorts of comments from other homes.
So they're angry themselves, aren't they? This is the thing.
And, you know, it is true, care staff find it really difficult. They get paid very little money, as this lady was saying, but actually, with no more staff, that person's experience could be completely different. But unless you address these care cultures, then they just get left to fester and fester and fester. And that is where you get these kind of really unacceptable practices that just need to be, you know, taken out.
The carer is wishing Maria a good sleep, if only between her morning bath at 6:30 and her breakfast 2 hours later. We don't know if Maria slept or just stared at the ceiling, until one of the two carers who the night before put her to bed roughly walks in. She's here to feed Maria. Later, after breakfast, staff did take Maria out of her room as usual, but by then Jane's camera had stopped working. Its last recording is at 9 a.m.
Well, no word of greeting, no good morning, just walk into the room.
And that TV's been off the whole time. And I specifically told them that don't just leave her lying and let her have a TV or a magazine or something. It's porridge. She's also got a cooked breakfast there as well.
The carer starts giving Maria breakfast, then breaks off to switch on the TV so she can watch it while feeding her.
So just fun to put the telly on.
Oh, she's looking at it, that's why. There's no speech at all.
And there's this switching from mouth spoonfuls of porridge to back to scrambled egg and whatever else it is that, you know.
Maria is being fed too quickly. The carer gives a spoonful roughly every 13 seconds. Even when a carer that Jane believes is a nurse passes through to help give medication.
She's choking, it's all getting shoveled in.
It's not the only time Maria's feeders are impatient. On the second night, Jane's secret camera was filming when Maria was given this drink.
And that's her drink for the evening. What can she do? She can't write down help, she can't say help, she can't get up and run away. She's just got to endure it. And that's what's horrible.
Maria's first day being secretly filmed at Ash Court is over.
I mean, to me, it's the whole sequence. It's everything. It's being put to bed in that manner of, like, you know, it's painful. You're thrown into bed. Nothing's told what's happening. It's a new day. It should be a new beginning. There's no communication. It's shoveled in. There's no joy. There's no tenderness. There's no empathy. There's just nothing. I was horrified to see that was a day in the life of my mother.
Jane took the secret footage out of Ash Court.
The clock had a little memory card in it, which is what you would then put into your laptop to view the images. I wasn't aware what I was actually going to see, so I just felt completely at ease.
Sitting at home, Jane saw the rough handling and speed feeding and was horrified.
I just thought I want to put it in for another time. I wanted to see if it was a one-off.
Yeah.
Really, really hard decision.
But worse was to come. 3 days later, Jane put the camera back in her mother's room for a second night. It's just after 7 p.m. and against her daughter's requests and the home's policies, a male carer is alone with Maria. He's giving her her night bath.
He just shouldn't even be in there.
No, you shouldn't.
She's frightened already.
Oh gosh, you just pushing her over.
So I don't know how he's actually got her into the bed.
Yes.
Playing it again, I can't see anything that could have provoked him to hit Maria.
Yes.
He mocks her.
He's twisting her arm.
Gosh, sorry, that's really inhumane.
Yeah.
This male carer is 30-year-old Jonathan Aquino. Ash Court hired him in the Philippines, where he was a qualified nurse, and arranged his work permit to come to the UK in 2008. The Metropolitan Police later interviewed people who knew Jonathan Aquino. No one suspected him.
Colleagues, other residents there, other families of residents there knew Jonathan as a perfectly amenable sort of chap. Obviously, having seen the CCTV footage, one sort of questions, well, why was this? Did he chose a different demeanour when he's on his own? I don't know.
It's 7:15. After hitting her, Jonathan continues giving Maria her nightly bath.
Oh dear. Gosh, I can't imagine what your mum was doing.
Terrified. What can she do? She can't shout for help. And he pulls her off the bed.
Remember, Jonathan shouldn't even be in Maria's room, and Maria should be moved by 2 carers using slip sheets.
Move.
Oh yeah. That's the head.
In all, Jonathan slaps Maria 6 times.
Just one final slap just to make sure.
During the 7 minutes Jonathan is filmed in Maria's room, he never speaks except to swear or to mock by imitating her.
That's hell.
It is hell.
Absolute hell. First time I've seen it, it's just awful.
It is awful. You can imagine. I screamed actually when I first saw it.
Jonathan Aquino leaves Maria's room at 7:20.
I just remember screaming and jumping up, and I just wanted to tear the house apart. And she's just so vulnerable. She can't get up, she can't call for help. It's just totally sadistic.
Jane drove straight to the care home and showed the manager her footage.
I was just feeling physically sick, and the person that I just wanted to be with was my mum. I just wanted to go to her and scoop her up. Eventually when I did get to her, I was just like, it's going to stop now, Mum. You're safe now. It's not, none of this is going to happen anymore.
All 5 of the main carers Jane filmed were suspended, and one of those 5, Jonathan Aquino, was arrested.
I can remember him not answering any questions to the police in the interview.
What was his demeanour during that interview?
It was a bit of a blank, vacant look. Whether or not that was something that he chose to put on to try and forget it and not recall what happened, I don't know. But it was very much, he was there in person, but bizarre.
Both the police and social workers took action. Although the manager of Ash Court suspended all the staff that Jane filmed for any length of time, Jane felt the company then wanted to sweep it under the carpet. But then Chief Executive wrote to Jane a month after her mother was assaulted, saying now was a good opportunity to move forward positively. Jane needed support. She came here to the Relatives and Residents Association, a small national charity based around the corner from her. The head of the charity is horrified that the care home didn't prevent the abuse in the first place.
How could 5 different workers not know that she had to be moved gently? How could anyone managing that home not notice that a hoist was not going into that room? You could hear the poor lady cry out in pain at the way that she was being moved. That doesn't suggest a one-off problem. It suggests a deep cultural problem in that home where people were being treated with less respect than slabs of meat.
Jonathan Aquino had been arrested for assault and ill treatment. But Ash Court was still employing the other 4 female carers. The chief executive wrote to Jane saying her mother's treatment was not gross misconduct and that all 4 would be returning to work.
They were then going to go and put these people back after training, 4 days training and being supervised. Again, they didn't really consider it gross misconduct, so that they were actually about to go back to work. I was just horrified.
5.5 months after the manager of Ash Court watched Jane's footage, the company finally sacked the other 4 care workers.
We asked the owners, Forest Healthcare, to talk to us. I wanted to ask why they didn't act more swiftly to sack care workers who manhandled